In this video, we're going to be taking a look at converting a corporate logo into an embroidery file using Inkscape and InkStitch. Let's go ahead and import the artwork, and we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do here. So this is the logo that we're going to look to turn into an embroidery file. Now, I saw this particular project being demonstrated in some other type of embroidery software. I'm not really sure what software he was using because I didn't catch it in the video. If he said what software he was using, I didn't catch it. But what I thought would be a good idea is to show you what he was demonstrating, how you would accomplish the same exact thing here inside Inkscape and InkStitch. And I highly recommend that you watch his video first and then come back to this one just to kind of give you an idea that, hey, those other software programs that have video tutorials, a lot of times we can use the techniques being demonstrated in those videos right here inside Inkscape and InkStitch and accomplish the exact same thing. And so some of those videos are really good. And his videos, like I said, I don't know what software he was using, but what he was demonstrating translates very well to here in Inkscape. So it might be worth taking a look at that video first and then taking a look at this one and then saying, hey, I could see how, in many cases, working here inside Inkscape with InkStitch is actually easier, in my opinion, than what he was demonstrating in the software that he was using. So anyhow, let's just go ahead and take a look at what we're going to do here. First thing, let's resize this to the size of our finished embroidery. So I'm going to go switch over to inches here, and we want this to fit our 4-inch hoop. So we're going to do it 3.8 inches. And so there is our logo, and I'm going to go ahead and lock that layer down. I don't want to mess with my original, and I might even lower the opacity just a little bit here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create another layer, and this is where we will begin our work. And we'll start right here with our swoosh. Now, there's a lot of different ways that we can accomplish this. All right, let me just show you one way we can accomplish it, and then I'll show you an alternate way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is grab our pen tool, and it's right here is our pen tool, and we're going to click right here, we're going to click right here, and then we're going to click right here, and then we're going to right click, and then we could just kind of hit the escape key to get out of that. We're still in the pen tool, but we're no longer have this path selected. So I'm going to come back here and click here, and click back over here. Okay, right click. So now I'm going to switch to my node tool, which is right here, and we're just going to click about the center of this path and move it right over here. And then I can click on that node, turn on my transformation handles here, and then I can just use my transformation handles to make that line up. Okay, same thing here. Bring that up here, take this transformation handle. We can kind of manipulate things a little bit. We'll zoom in a little bit here. Just like that. Okay, and then do the same thing here with this one. Click on this path, grab our node tool, move it in a little bit, grab this one, move it up a little bit, grab our transformation handle, and then we can kind of fine tune things here. Okay, now what do you see here? Well, you see this one here, we got a little bit more transformation to do, don't we? It's not exactly perfect. That's better, but you see that little bump right there? Let's just double click on this side of the path, double click on this side of the path, and then hit Control Alt and select that node to get rid of it. What did we do there? We smoothed it out. We've got the same thing here. So click on this side of the path, click on this side of the path, or the node rather, Control Alt Delete, and look at there, all smoothed out, looking good. So now we have two lines here. So you see that? We have two lines. So that's a rail. So now if we select them both and hit Control K, we can now convert that into satin stitches. Control Alt P, That is my keyboard shortcut to go into params, turn off running stitches, and it's automatically going to transform into satin for us. Okay. Now you see this stitch angle right here? I'm not real happy with that. Let's choose apply and quit. Okay. So I'm not real happy with that. So the way we control that is by nodes. We could control it with rungs, but we're not going to. We're going to control it with nodes. So there's a node, there's one directly across. You see this? We need one directly across, not at an angle like that. Okay? That's what was causing our weird stitch angle, because the nodes were offset kind of back behind it. So now we're going to go back into params. Instead of my keyboard shortcut, I'm going to go through the menu here, Extensions, InkStitch Params. But now you're going to see that that satin stitch is perfect, and it is the stitch angles here are going in the order that we would want them to go into. See how simple that is? All right. So now that we've done that, let's delete that and start over. So what I want to do is just show you another alternate way. If you're brand new to Inkscape and InkStitch, we can just go into our pen tool and watch this. We're going to click here, right? And then we're going to click here, click here, click here on either side. Okay, now it really doesn't matter necessarily how many points that you do. Okay, because we're gonna fix this. I'll just show you what we're gonna do. So just go side to side, click, click on the edge, click on the edge, click on the edge. This is a good alternative because anyone can do this. You know, you don't have to have any real special skills. We're just gonna go kind of in this zigzag motion, if you will, from one side to the other. And like I said, you will kind of get, I accidentally right clicked, but we'll just double click on it again, grab our pen tool again, and we can pick up right where we left off. But I accidentally right clicked my mouse. So we just keep going from side to side. Now I will say when you get to a tighter curve, the shorter distance of the zigzag is probably better than longer distances. Okay, but there you go. But you see kind of how now I'm going kind of back to longer distances between the zigzags. All right, there we go. Right click. So now you can kind of see the zigzag that I created, right? How it starts off, then I got tight, then it trailed off a little again, right? Well, there's a tool on InkStitch that's a really powerful tool. We can come in here to Extensions and choose InkStitch and come down here to Tool Satin and choose the zigzag line to satin. And when we do that, you can see we get some options here. It does allow us to add rungs, but we're not going to do that. So let's just go ahead and click on Apply and see what we get. And when we do that, you can see we kind of get what we just had, right? More or less. It's just what we had just created manually. But because we did it the way we did it, you see there, we have all those nodes, but those were all the points that we had clicked along the way. If we come up here to Path and choose Simplify, sometimes that works, and look at how much that path was simplified. A lot, right? So now what we can do is we can fine tune it. So we can connect that one. Do we need that one? No, not really. Do we need this one? No, not really. We're going to leave that one. We don't really need that one, or probably even that one. And then here, we're just going to bring this right up here to this point. And we've already seen how we can use our transformation handles, right? So I don't think we need that one. Probably don't need that one, or even that one. So see how much we could simplify that? And then we'll add our stitch angles there, 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 and there. We didn't add one there. Let's go back and add that one. There. So see, now you see how we have our stitch angles, right? So now when we look at that in params, we're going to have the exact same result that we had to begin with. You can also see, because we started our zigzag here on the right, how it's now stitching from right to left. And you can see we have a perfect satin column. We may want to go in and add a couple more nodes for some stitch angles to come around that corner. But other than that, that's it. So that's all taken care of. So now let's just take a look at our E and kind of follow the same process that we just used. Go to our pen tool and let's just see what happens here. We start up the inside of our E. Pretty tight right there. So we're just going back and forth, back and forth. This is definitely something anyone can do. Pretty straightforward. Get right back to that and right click. So you can see the zigzags that we created. So now we can come up here to extensions. We can choose InkStitch, Tool Satin, Zigzag, which is Control Alt Z, and we'll just go ahead and click on apply. And there is our zigzag. Now it looks pretty bad right now, but let's go ahead and take a quick look at params. It's not terrible, right? But it does need a little bit of cleaning up. I'm not going to lie. Okay, so first things first, I would select my path. We've got a lot of nodes there. So the first thing I would do is simplify that. Okay, and then once it's been simplified, I like to have this right here. We've got our control handles. And then let's go back into kind of wireframe mode here. And we could just take a look at this and see what nodes we want to clean up here. That looks good. We can clean that one up, that one up, that one, that one. Okay, so that one's there, that one's there. Maybe we don't need that one or that one or that one or that one. We can really smooth things up here. And maybe we don't need that one, or that one. Okay, so that's really smoothed up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one here and add one here because I don't like this one. I think that could be smoothed out some more there. Okay, and maybe even the same thing up here. Okay, so now, right, now we can come back in and just add some corresponding stitch angles. So from here to here, let's turn off those control handles. Sometimes those kind of get a little bit confusing, get in our way a little bit. There's not one there. All right, so these I'm just going to tuck in a little bit. So they're going to start, and that E's going to come around and finish like that now. So there, let's take a look at it now. Now that we've smoothed it all out. Yes, very nice. Very happy with that one. Okay. So what are we going to do here with our R? Well, let's go ahead and grab our pen tool. And what we're going to do here Okay, that takes care of that. And then we're going to go ahead and Control Alt Z. That's going to convert to a zigzag to satin. Okay, now that was pretty terrible, right? So no worries, we'll fix this. Um, let's just come in here and connect these two. Turn on our transformation handles. That was pretty bad. All right, and yeah, this one here, we can do the same kind of thing. We'll come up here like that. Let's go ahead and get rid of our transformation handles right now and clean all this up a little bit for us. Because yeah, that was, especially this little part right here, I wasn't real happy with. But let's go ahead and get rid of all of those extra nodes. All right, so that takes care of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this a corner node, which is Shift C, and we're going to make this a corner node as well. Okay, and so that takes care of that. So you can see the shape, the overall shape of this is much nicer now. And then we're going to go back to our zigzag here. Right, and then of course we're going to Control Alt Z, and that will convert that little piece to satin. And then we're just going to go back to our node tool and connect the dots here. But we can go ahead and get rid of those extra nodes. And there we go. So the biggest thing here is that this has got to stitch first before our R. And then we'll see this. Little piece on top, and then it's going to come down. Catch it just like so. Now I'm not super happy with the zigzag because we were missing a node there for one, for the stitch angles. Okay, so then this one, we can get rid of that, and then we'll add one. So this is going to connect with this is going to connect with that, and you're going to wind up with a much nicer stitch angle situation there. Okay, so back to our pen tool. We're just going to go back and forth here. Now this is kind of a straightaway, so we don't need as many points at that point to be able to define okay. Control Alt Z, apply. Grab our node tool, connect the dots here, get rid of what we don't need. That one we can go ahead and leave, and we'll make a friend for him right there. And then this one is okay, but then this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, don't really need those. So go ahead and get rid of those there. We'll add something here. Add something there. That takes care of that. And then we'll come back over here with our pen tool. Okay, Control Alt Z. Switch over to our node tool. Get rid of all of this stuff that we do not need anymore. We'll leave that one. Okay. And we can just kind of fine tune it there. And there we go. So let's look at that. Let's look at everything right here up to this point here. But let's do it in like Stitch realistic preview mode here, just so we could see this. See, look at how perfect that is stitching. So that's gonna, that's gonna be really easy to kind of finish that whole thing. So go back to our pen tool here. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna do this piece. And then we're gonna come down here. We'll do this piece of the T. And then we'll do this piece. Okay, and then we will go ahead and select all of those pieces that we just created. Control-Alt-Z, apply. So you see how it converted all of those pieces? So now we can just come in here with our node tool and the nodes that we don't need, obviously we can get rid of those. Clean all that up. That part of it looks good. We're going to connect the dots here. We are going to turn on our transformation handles so we can see those a little bit more clearly. And then of course we're going to turn those back off. When we're doing our node editing, it's a little bit easier to not have those on if we don't need them. So we don't need that, or that. Get rid, well, okay, maybe we do need that one. Define that a little bit better. So that takes care of that and that. And then let's go ahead and get rid of these. Clean this all up. We'll leave that one for the moment. And we don't need that. I did get a little carried away with that one. So we'll tuck that in there. So that's got a mate. 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 That has a mate. Actually, I guess we don't need that one. But we do need one there. And then we need one here. Okay. So now you can see what the T is going to stitch like. Beautiful. So you can see that that zigzag function is really kind of a cool, like if you don't know anything else, and especially for a logo like this, I would want to redraw all this artwork, so we could just kind of redraw it this way. It's a little bit more straightforward conversion. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do this side of it. So there's that and that. So we'll come in here, Control-Alt-Z and apply. Grab our node tool. Tidy up anything that needs tidying up. So for example, that, and that, that's all probably fine. But we don't need that. We definitely don't need that, or that. And then on the inside here, we don't need this. We don't need that, or that. And then over here, we don't need that, and that. Or that. Or that, or that. Or this one. Okay, maybe we need one down here. We'll anchor it down there a little bit. Turn on our transformation handle so we can control that one. This one will connect right there. Look at that. All right, so that takes care of that. Moving on. Let's do this little piece. And then we'll do this piece. So as we're making the pieces of our lettering, we have to think about like in what order everything's going to stitch in and so forth. So it's kind of a process when we're doing it, but all right, so that takes care of that. So we'll move over to our selection tool, convert that. And then of course we'll move into our node edit tool here. Get rid of all these pieces that we don't need. Make sure transformation handles are on. So what we're going to do is we're just going to round that up a little bit there. So that's all good. Up to that point there. Okay. And then here, we don't need a lot of this. That piece we're going to move right there. Okay. Then we're going to add. So what we're going to do here, and this piece right here, we're going to add to it. Come down here. Okay. That's basically it. I'm going to move that. All right. Going to live with that. All right. And I probably should have done this first just because this would stitch first. And then that tall sat column would come over the top of it, but That's easy enough to change after the fact too. I'm just going to keep going here. So when I convert this type of logo, I probably would just come in here and do all of my zigzag lines, convert everything over with the zigzag to satin, and then I would come back in and do all my node editing. It's probably how I would handle it. This piece here, I'm actually going to do in a couple of pieces. So we're going to do that little piece, then we'll come in guess we'll, no, I can't do that, can I? I thought I was going to go into wireframe mode, but can't do that. On the straightaways, we don't have to have quite so many points. And I could stop this right here and then create another piece. But I guess I'll just keep going here. All right. So that takes care of all of the signature pieces now. So let me go in here and convert all of that. And then we'll go into our node tool, of course, and start cleaning up. So we'll clean that, and that, and that, and that. That. Okay. I guess we're going to go right to there. That's fine. Then here, we can get rid of these. Let's turn off our transformation handles for a moment, just till we get our nodes cleaned up. We'll leave that one, maybe we'll leave that one. Okay. All right. So now we have that path cleaned up real nice. So now we'll just go in and we will add some stitch angles here. That needs a mate. That needs a mate. That needs a mate. He needs a mate. And that's take care of that. And what do we got over here? There we go. That'll be fine. This we're going to connect. Get our control handles here. We don't need that. Bring that down here. We don't need that. That one, that one, that one, or that one, or that one. We'll add a mate to him. That takes care of that. And then for this, come around the bend here. Don't need that. We'll add one there. Get rid of this one. We'll add one there and get rid of that one. Get rid of our control handles. So you can see this a little bit more clearly. Okay, happy with that. Now we'll get rid of what we don't need for our G here. Takes care of that, and then definitely don't need all of that monkey business. Oh. All right. All right. So that takes care of all of that. Let's look at it in Stitch Plan Preview mode now. So that zigzag to satin, a little note editing. We'll get it on. So you can see that does look pretty good. So now really the only thing that's left is the lawn care text, and that's pretty straightforward. So we're going to grab our pen tool, and we're going to click here. We're going to hold down our control key. That will constrain to a perfectly vertical and horizontal. And then we're going to go up here. We're going to go here. We're going to come down here, back up here, over here, back over here, down here, over here, up, down, up, down, up. I guess we can come over this way. Come back up, down, up, down, over, and then we're going to kind of come back around. And over. And then we're going to come up, down, up, over, back, down, and over, and up, and over, around, over, back, down, over, up, over, back in, back down, back over, over, down, and there we go. And then we're gonna connect to that. I guess we'll go do LLC. All right. Okay. So now this, let's go ahead and change that. Let's go into params and change that. And we're going to do a manual stitch, I think, on that. Well, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's go ahead and run that through once. So that is a manual stitch. Where's our needle points? Okay, excellent. That all looks good. Versus a running stitch. Nope, we definitely want manual. Perfect. Now, let's take a look at the whole thing, but in realistic preview mode. Go ahead and close. Look at that all by its lonesome. Nope. There we go. There we go. So you can see it's a good looking logo. Pretty straightforward to make. And I think it'll stitch out really, really nice too. So there you go. So I hope you kind of see how watching his video and watching this video using kind of similar techniques, we're able to create a very similar looking logo fairly quickly and easily. Now it does look like we do have, especially on our G here, we have an issue with a couple of our satins that I did not apparently look at. From A on over, I did not consider those. I don't know why I didn't. But yes, this is missing a partner. This is missing a partner. This one's missing a partner. So, and this one. So that takes care of that. This one's missing a partner. That one's missing a partner. This one's missing a partner. He's missing a partner. He's missing a partner. He's missing a partner. He is missing a partner. That takes care of that. I'm going to add a couple of stitch angles there. Our G here. Yes, our G was missing some info. And then this was kind of misshapen a little bit on our G. So that takes care of that. There we go. That takes care of that. And, boy, we were missing a lot. That takes care of that. That was taken care of already. And then this one here, I think this one here, we did have that one taken care of. Okay. Now let's take another gander at that. So let's pull that stitch angle or that stitch plan preview over here by its lonesome. And yes, much better. It looks like we do have a little bit of work on our I and our N that we've got to do here. Maybe even on our A a little bit. But that's definitely better than it was. Let's look at the I. What's wrong with our I here? Oh, we did miss one. Because those darn transformation handles. So there we go. So that takes care of the I. And then it says we have a problem here with our N. Okay. What else looked a little off? Our A maybe a little bit. That's because we just need an extra set or two of stitch angles there. So our A is good, the N is not good. I think our G is good, our I. Yes. That should have fixed all that up. Let's take one last look. See if that didn't fix our issues. Looks like we still have an issue with our N. But yes, the A looks much better. The G, the I, and the S. Something's still strange with our N right there. So let's see what that something is. Could be an extra node. There it is. See how that line is all squiggly wiggly? That should not be like that. So if I hit Shift L, that will straighten that line out like it's supposed to be. See how now when I move it, it's not all deformed? So that path right there, Shift L. So now, if we take a look at it, you'll see that that did in fact fix our issue there. I don't think I've ever had that happen to me before. But yeah, see how the end is nice and perfect now? Perfect. All right, signature lawn care. There you go. So I hope you learned a little something from this one. It was kind of a fun task. Watch that other video, and I think you'll see you'll kind of gain a lot more appreciation for what we could do. I'm just going to move that a little bit closer. I feel like that should be a little bit closer. But that zigzag to satin tool can be really useful on a logo similar to this because it's be really simple to create. Thanks for watching.